Most people use nylon flat collars with dogs. They're kind of like these nylon leashes. They're usually 1/2 inch to 1 inch wide. They tend to be kind of stretchy. These collars are completely worthless for 2 reasons. Okay? Number 1, they tend to be kind of stretchy. You almost can't get them tight enough where the dog can't slip out of them. The bigger problem with flat collars, nylon flat collars, and flat collars in general, is they're wide, relatively speaking. So when you give a correction, a collar correction, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment, it distributes the force over a broad area. Dogs are not very responsive on them, okay? I much prefer rolled leather because it's very thin and it doesn't stretch at all. Okay, there's a couple ways to look at this. Basically, because this is round, it has a single line of contact instead of a 1 inch wide strip. Okay, so for a dog that will choke himself to death on a flat collar, he'll be much less likely to do that on this collar, because if he pulls on this collar, it's going to be a lot more unpleasant to him. The truth of the matter is he won't pull nearly as much because it's a lot more unpleasant. These are 10 times more effective than flat collars. I don't like to use any tool to address pulling. Okay, to me, if a dog is pulling, one of 2 things is going on. Either you're not making it clear you don't want him to pull, you don't know the right technique to get him to walk behind you on a loose leash, or you're making it perfectly clear and he doesn't care. He doesn't take his lead from you. He's saying, well, you're not really calling the shots here, I am. Or a combination of the 2. Okay? So when you use a tool to address pulling, no matter what it is, a harness, a halty, a choke chain, whatever, you're treating the symptom and not the underlying problem. Okay? But if it's a safety issue, if your dog's pulling so hard I'm worried he's going to damage his throat, or rip your arm out of the socket, or face plant you in the concrete, or get away from you and get run over by a car, you got to use a prong collar. In my view, I'm not going to go through every tool there is to address pulling. There's like 50 of them, okay? And tell you why I believe a properly fitted prong collar of the right design, used properly, is not only the most effective, but also the safest, as in least likely to injure your dog. But that's my opinion. I'll give you one example. Most people that have dogs that pull really hard switch to a harness, okay? The whole concept of going to a harness is flawed. You're basically saying, okay, well, you're pulling so hard I'm worried you're going to damage your throat, so I'm going to put this thing on you that allows you to pull as hard as you want, and then you won't hurt yourself. It enables bad behavior. And it's nearly impossible to keep the leash loose on a harness. It's tight all the time, which means your dog's in total control all the time. Because in order for you to be in control, the leash has to be loose for him to look to you for direction. So a harness is the opposite direction you want to go.